Contemplationist Insight, a Simon Vumbaca podcast.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of the Contemplationist Insight podcast, where we break down the beliefs that shape our lives and challenge the one that might be holding us back. I'm your host, Simon Vumbaca, and today we are tackling something we have all been told to be, probably more than once. Be serious. Think about it. Whether it's in school, at work, or even in our personal lives, we are constantly being told to get serious if we want to succeed. But here's the question. Is being serious really the key to getting ahead? Or are we missing out on something bigger like joy, creativity, and even better results? In today's Contemplationist episode, we are digging into the idea of serious and seriousness, where it comes from, why it's so deeply ingrained in us, and whether it's actually serving us at all. What if being serious isn't about being better, but about fitting into outdated expectations? And what about if being thoughtful and factual, and maybe even a little humor, could lead us to happier, more fulfilling lives? We'll explore all of that and more, with a bit of fun along the way. Because hey, we don't have to be serious to talk about serious things, right? Before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Whether you are commuting, unwinding, or just looking for some fresh insight, we've just got thoughtful conversation like this coming your way. All right, let's get straight into it, but not too much. There is a belief that we need to be serious. At school, we are told to be serious students, serious about our studies and to get serious grades so we can achieve serious academic goals. In business, we are taught to get serious to avoid serious consequences, to engage in serious businesses that bring serious gains, allowing us to seriously impact the market and become serious contenders to make serious money by claiming serious market shares. In everyday life, we are told to be serious about self-care, to avoid serious health issues, to ensure we get into a serious relationship, or else we might end up in a serious breakdown. You get the idea. In fact, when someone wants to convince us of the importance of something, they often say, seriously now, or let's get serious, or even, this could seriously improve. Important things must be treated seriously, and some matters are entirely serious by nature, such as the economy, markets, politics, our jobs, and even religion to some. These are default serious matters. We are taught from a young age that the most serious thing that can happen to us is death. But where does this serious belief come from? Looking back, it seems that the degree of seriousness is deeply ingrained in our beliefs and environment. So let's start at the beginning. What does the word serious actually mean? According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it means thoughtful or subdued in appearance or manner, and also requiring much thought or work. The Oxford Dictionary defines it as thinking in a careful, solemn way, where solemn is performed with dignity, and needing or intended to be thought about carefully, not just for pleasure. The Oxford Dictionary online also gives us a fantastic information. It tells us that the adjective serious has 80 occurrences per million words in modern English. Seriously has 30 occurrences per million words in modern written English. By comparison, happy has 60 occurrences per million words in modern written English. Happily has 7 occurrences per million words. Joy has 30 occurrences and joyful only 2 occurrences per million words in modern written English. It would seem we are more likely to be serious than happy, and certainly more than joyful. Essentially, The way we communicate indicates we shouldn't waste our time on non-serious things, or if we do, we don't like to write or talk about it. Yet, seriousness and being serious is something we are asked to embrace regularly. But what exactly is it? Is seriousness an emotion? According to a recent article titled The 6 Types of Basic Emotion and Their Effect on Human Behavior, serious and seriousness is not a basic emotion. Happy is. However, happy is surrounded by sadness, fear, disgust, anger, and surprise as basic emotion. Not exactly joyful bunch, but serious is not considered a basic emotion. Maybe we could clarify things by replacing the word serious with its definition. Thinking in a careful way. We will use thoughtful for simplicity. Let's see if that helps. Let's see if we can apply it to our earlier expression. At school, we are told to be thoughtful student, thoughtful about our studies, and to get thoughtful grades, whatever that means, so we can achieve thoughtful academic goals. This sort of works. In business, we are told we need to be thoughtful to avoid thoughtful consequences, to engage in thoughtful business that give thoughtful gains, to thoughtfully affect the market and become a thoughtful contender to make thoughtful money by dictating thoughtful market shares. Other than being very difficult to say, this is, in my opinion, start to show the cracks and inconsistencies in overuse of the word serious. What is a thoughtful business? Have you tried to doing business without thinking? And what are the thoughtful gains? What is the opposite of thoughtful gains? Accidental gains? A thoughtful contender is someone who thinks. Well, and so on. In everyday life, we are told to be thoughtful about self-care to avoid thoughtful health issue. Until we got into a thoughtful relationship, or else we end up in a thoughtful breakdown. Now, that is a thoughtful health issue. I have no idea. One that you need to think about in advance, or when it's already there? Do we need to think about it all the time? What is a thoughtful breakdown? One we had planned carefully? You can see how the confusion starts to create a sense that it's better to be serious than to risk something we don't understand. The other side for me of the serious mystery is, why do we assume that if one is joyful, one cannot be thoughtful? Can't thoughtful matters be dealt with some joy? Can a decision made after careful thought also contain happiness, joy, disgust, or fear? Can we be thoughtful about joy and still reach a positive outcome in our actions or decisions? Some may see this as mere semantics, but it's actually about the proper use of the language we rely on to communicate with each other, a language that has become the foundation of our goal, ambition, aspiration, and understanding. Take early photographs. For example, they almost never contain smiles or display of happiness. People were expected to look serious, solemn, and not smile. According to a 2016 Time magazine article, this was for a variety of reasons. One, technically, it took several seconds to take a picture, making a smile difficult to maintain past 10 seconds. Early photos were regarded as portrait, like solemn painting, and were rare enough to warrant a formal, serious pose, continuing the tradition of church paintings. Dental hygiene was exactly advanced at the time, though that's debatable to be a valid reason. What's fascinating is that 2 of the 3 reasons why we believe the past was so serious have nothing to do with feelings or state of mind. It was simply out of convenience. Yet, today's society is said to be far more thoughtful, serious. That certainly does not reflect in our modern photos, where smiles and teeth are essential. In fact, without a big smile and a lot of white teeth, we retake the photo or don't post it at all. So, what are we really serious about? Are we achieving better outcomes by being serious? What occupies our thoughts in such a solemn manner that we must avoid joy or happiness? Could it be that living in a state of fear and anger doesn't work? Absolutely. But seriousness is not really an emotion, isn't it? Could it be that we think being serious works because we believe we will be taken at better value by the people and the world around us? Perhaps it's a self-preservation mechanism, a way to protect our importance and authority in your surroundings. It is my belief that is exactly so. When we begin our journey, we tend to know what is right and wrong for us. When we find ourselves in unfamiliar surroundings, schools, university, new towns, new venture, we encounter new people, new tribe and realities, cultures, and groups with their own beliefs. We seek safety in these environments. When joining a new company, for example, we adopt their culture. The more we want to fit in, the more we modify our behavior. Over time, our original vision becomes distorted, and we accept a new norm. Seriousness of purpose becomes a self-imposed standard. We even start judging those who don't impose the same level of seriousness on themselves, and demanding their ideas based on our own projected limitations. We got so used to the comfort of this lie and of what we have become that our original truth become uncomfortable to us. If we were clear about who we are and limited our need for external validation, we could be thoughtful and joyful, rarely serious. We would be balancing our purpose-driven actions, aligned with our values and own universal truth. Moreover, if we weren't afraid of who we are, no one could use that against us. We could be thoughtful, factual, precise, and proactive in our action without needing to be serious. This concept appears in many philosophy and spiritual practice. In the Guanzi essay on early China, it is reported that no one seeks their reflection in flowing water, they seek it in still water. And it is also reported that do not let things confuse the senses, and do not let the senses confuse the mind. As the contemplationist, I embrace this view and would add my own, as already stated elsewhere. Desires, greed, or self-interest, and the paired polar emotion of worry and joy, delight and anger, are preventing one from keeping the water still and oppose the cultivation of balance and levelness, preventing one's alignment between purpose-driven action and one universal vision and truth. To be wise and sage, one must not wait old age. One must balance and level self, actions, purpose, and one's universal truth with matching factual actions align with it. So, for your own sake, next time you find yourself being overly serious or asking others to be serious, stop for a second. Replace the word serious with thoughtful in your sentences. Ask yourself if the facts and actions match. Try to see the humorous or happy side of things. Try to see if the outcome of what you're asking people to be serious about actually is worth it. Let's be thoughtful, factual, precise, and balanced, happy, and true to our universal values. No need to be serious all the time. Remember, a serious player isn't the one who plays all the right notes the right way. It's the one who knows why the right way is right. And that's a wrap up for today's episode of the Contemplationist Insight podcast. I hope this conversation got you thinking and maybe even rethinking why and what it means to be serious. Remember, life doesn't always have to be so heavy. Thoughtfulness, a little joy, and some humor can take you just as far, if not further. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on more thoughtful discussion like this one. And hey, if you found something helpful today, share the episode with a friend who could use a fresh perspective too. We'd love to hear from you, so feel free to drop us a review or reach out on social media to join the conversation. Your feedback means the world to us and help us keep creating content you love, relevant to your contemplationist journey. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay thoughtful, stay balanced, and don't take life too seriously.